Hello and welcome to the Bizzy Webinar for September 10th, 2014. Today we're going to talk about WordPress 4.0. Benny, so excited to have you all with us, and hopefully everything's working good here. If I can get a sound check from my team, just to let me know that everything's going well. All right, perfect. So just a couple of brief things as we go through each week here. We talk about some cool stuff, but today we're talking about WordPress Benny. Our agenda today is going to be a little bit about BizzyWeb, who we are and what we do, and then going right into what's new in Benny, which is the edit window in WordPress, the easy embeds in order to embed video like YouTube videos or tweets or other embedded media that used to be pretty tough. It's now much easier. The media library itself and some of the changes inside of there, the plugin manager, and how to safely install and backup your copy of WordPress to avoid any catastrophes. As a quick note before we even talk about that, don't try to install or update WordPress if you are hosted by BizzyWeb, because we'll take care of that for you, and we actually have some testing that's happening on all of our sites right now to ensure a safe and effective upgrade path. But if you're watching this and you're not hosted by BizzyWeb, first, why on earth would you choose to not host with us? But second, be sure to do some sort of a backup before you do this, and I'll run you through the safe way to install WordPress then. Remember that you can post questions live at any time. If you go to bizzyweb.com/events and click on the article, or if you go to the BizzyWeb homepage, which is right over here on the website, highlighted in red, or actually let me just click over to the BizzyWeb homepage. If you click right here and you click on WordPress 4.0 Benny, scroll down, and then you'll see right in here there's an embedded video. If you click on this in YouTube, you can watch us live. And when you're watching live, there's a couple of things that I'd love for you to do. First, if you get into this Q&A, if you get into this Hangout, please do check in, because when you watch the event, you can say, "Are you watching?" And if you go to plus.google.com/BizzyWeb or google.com/plusBizzyWeb, and I'll do that right now. Oops, need to double click. Google plus BizzyWeb. That will bring you right into this event. And if you go in and just check in so that we know that you're watching, that will be a huge help for us. And actually, should be right here because we're live. And well, that's interesting. It's not showing up even though it's in the page. So from this page, if you click on the YouTube button, you can go right into YouTube and watch this. And then if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and please do check in to say that you're watching so that we know, or post a comment if you'd like, just so that we know that you were at the event. That way we can keep up with you and ask you how things went at the end. We'll send you a quick survey, make sure that everything's happy and that you didn't have any questions that didn't get answered. So for the folks that were attending and that checked this out, would love to help you any way we can, of course. And as we bridge through this, it's going to be a fun and exciting event for everybody. So that's what we're doing today, and let's dig right into it. First of all, who we are at BizzyWeb is a web design and online marketing company focusing on WordPress-powered web design, which allows us to seamlessly integrate social media into our websites. So when you publish to a BizzyWeb-powered website, you'll simultaneously publish to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Google+, and much more. We also have a full suite of online marketing tools and capabilities under the Buzz Builders moniker. And so if you need help either generating more buzz and information, connecting up, loading up information to your website, or connecting in any way to get better results in your online marketing, the Buzz Builders program is probably for you, and we would love to talk to you about that. When we build all of our social media accounts, we build them to be cross-branded and cross-promoted as well. So if you need help in setting up LinkedIn, Facebook, Google+, or Twitter, as they're listed from right to left, from front to back here, this is a great way and an easy way to fast-track your online marketing. So please get a hold of us if you need help with that. You're here to talk to us about Benny or to find out what's new in WordPress. So give us a couple of moments here and we'll get right into the details. First, what is Benny? Benny was named after jazz great Benny Goodman, band leader and magnificent musician. And every edition of WordPress from 1.0 on out has been named after a jazz great of some sort. So that's what the deal is with Benny. For any of my IABC friends, you'll know that Benny has a somewhat different connotation for us. It's our least favorite server on our IABC friends. But as we move forward, Benny is just 4.0, and it's the latest release. As they said in their press release, it's really no different from 3.9 and won't be that big of a deal between 3.9 and 4.1. But since this is a major number update, it feels more significant, certainly, and there are some really neat things that have been included. The biggest things for us is really focusing on smoother writing and management of your website. Everything that used to take a couple extra clicks has been pretty well smoothed out in the new WordPress 4.0. So as you look at that, of course, we'll talk about these in a little bit deeper detail, and I'll give you a demo in just a moment as well. But the Media Gallery Manager has been streamlined and improved greatly, where it's much easier to manage large amounts of images, videos, audio, what have you. The visual editor has been greatly improved as well. Now follows you around and is just much more seamless as an editing tool. The windows resize, things change pretty dramatically as you move them forward, and it just makes sense the way that visual editor works now. In particular, in the video embeds and the other embedded media is really, really slick now, because that used to be something that was a pretty dramatic pain point for our clients as they were trying to upgrade and move their content around. The plugin browser has been installed or has been upgraded so that you can now see reviews and check out your plugins before you install them. And again, for BizzyWeb hosted clients, I would ask you to first check in with us before you install additional plugins. And many of our clients, in agreements with them, we've actually pushed back, and they can't even, most of our clients can't install plugins on their own. So this is for the self-managed folks. We have support and installation of plugins as included with what you get for free with BizzyWeb's hosting plans. So if you're on your own, you can browse and check out and upgrade plugins easier than ever. But certainly if you're already a BizzyWeb client, we'd ask that you work with us, because we can do it more safely and keep everything up and running for you without risking any downtime. Again, if you're not hosting with us, you probably should be, but let us know if we can help you on that. And finally, theme customizations. If you're editing or updating your own website, and again, if you're working with BizzyWeb, there's no need to do this because we already handle it for you, but if you're customizing or updating your own theme, there are some new and more seamless ways to upgrade and update your theme without negative impact, or making it a little bit safer to update your website as we move forward. So that's highlight overview, and now we're going to go into a little bit more detail on each of these. The Media Gallery allows you to import multiple items all at once. So if you have a bunch of images or details on what's happening on your media library, you can now grab a whole bunch of them and just drag them all onto the home page. This is BizzyWeb's Media Gallery. There are easier ways to edit individual items, and as a matter of fact, there's a browser to go between media so that you don't have to click back to the main media gallery each time you want to update. So you could theoretically just hop into your first media item and scroll across and rename all of your media items all at once. It's also very easy to get a live preview of any multimedia. So if you have a video embedded on your site, or that you've uploaded an MP4 video of your on your site, it's easier to browse that. And it's also easier to browse MP3s, where you can actually demo and preview that audio without having to dig in and go into a new window to browse that. So it's just a very easy and seamless interaction. And actually, let me just skip over to that for a second. I'm going to go back over to the web browser window. And where's my mouse? There we are. In the media library, you can see this is where we're at. And so if I wanted to edit any of these items, I could just simply click on them. If I wanted to import, I'm just going to drag an item over here, and you can see that it goes to drop files to upload, And if I grab that, it updates that piece of information. So you can see this is the SBDM Small Business Digital Marketing Summit in Minneapolis. This is my write-up for the class that I'm giving on this event. So if I wanted to edit that title, I could simply click on that. And you'll see that there are a number of items in here. So I can see the URL. If I wanted to copy that somewhere on my website, that's fine. I can edit the title here. And of course, when you're editing your titles, this is great for search engine optimization. And right now the image is titled OK. If it was just IMG001, I'd probably change that up. If you wanted to give the item a caption, you can do that here as well. As a word of warning, it does in WordPress automatically put a little gray box, or depending on your theming, it puts some sort of a bit of text underneath your image when you have a caption on it, so you may want to leave that alone for the most part. Alt text, this is exactly what Google is going to be seeing. So we'll see Dave Meyer is presenting on SBDM. I won't go into full detail here, but then I can just simply save that, or actually it automatically saves it as we go forward. Now if I wanted to keep editing other images, I can simply click the box to have it go to the next image. As I can see, you can see all the details inside of here, and I can also see where this is attached to, which is very, very handy as you're looking at it. You can look at the attachment page or edit more details as you go in, and it gives you some additional links or updates on here. So this is that actual page or post. You could resize the image if you wanted to by going into Edit Image, but that's the same from the last versions of the image. If I wanted to change this image, I could apply the changes to all image sizes, thumbnail, all sizes except thumbnail. One word of caution on here: when you edit these, and if you save this as an image, and you have this image embedded in other places other than where you've loaded it to, it's going to change that image across the board. So, for example, if you have a large image and you're expecting people to be able to click on it to see the full version, but you go in here and you resize this image to a very small size, you're going to essentially make that image super fuzzy on subsequent pages. So you don't really want to mess with this across all pages on images that are embedded in more than one place. But if this is the only place that you're using it, or if it's the first time you've uploaded this image and you know you're not going to change it anymore, that's fine. You can just use that. So I'm going to cancel out of this, and I'm just going to go back to my media library. As we mentioned before, you can browse through these, make it super easy and streamlined to update your media. And I don't believe I have any video in here. Let's see if I've got something. Nope, no video. How about audio? If I go in here, yep, here's a Google Hummingbird audio. And as you see here,
this is Dave Meyer, BizzyWeb, with your weekly BizzyWeb Buzz Tip.
That's our weekly buzz tip with the Real Estate Radio Hour. So I can now preview that live in the browser window or in the attachment window in the media gallery instead of having to go all over the place for that. So very easy, very slick. You can also see just unattached images or unattached items. These are probably places that, or probably things that are somewhere else on your site or that haven't been attached anywhere else. These are some examples of our company and our training facility. But as you go through, very easy, very slick, and just makes the entire experience a little bit more seamless. So that's Media Gallery. The visual editor is now much improved as well. There's a scrolling toolbar that stays with you as you scroll down the page, and the editor expands automatically as you write. So let me click over here and just preview this as well. So if I go into this post, and if I wanted to edit my window, where am I? Add new post. Okay. I'm going to X out of these, as we'll show you that in a moment. But as I'm editing here, you can see that the window is going to expand as I create more content. So actually, let's go through this. I'm just going to delete, and you can see that this window has expanded, or it's shrunk back up because I've made it shorter. Now, if I were to do this lorem ipsum a bunch more, copy and paste, the window has now expanded down to the bottom of this preview window. I'm in a pretty short window, but you can see that it's going up and down. And now if you watch very closely, as soon as I get up to the top here, the edit window right up here on my window, on my browser, is now holding still, and the content, I've always got that toolbar up at the top of my window. So if I'm editing, if I want to make Urbanitas bold, I can do that without having to scroll all the way back up to the top. So it kind of seamlessly streamlines what's available for you and makes your life a whole lot easier inside of here. So that's the big new stuff inside of the actual browser window. And now there's embeds. So once we look at embeds, all you need to do now is just paste the URL for YouTube and tweets into your browser window or into your visual editor window, and it's going to automatically format it and post in the video as necessary for YouTube. There is a quick note: if you're browsing in the middle of this and you just happen to paste it in the middle, you need to be on your own, on a completely new line in order for this automatic embedding to work, but you'll get the hang of it pretty quickly. Let's demo that for you for a moment. So I have a video of last week's BizzyWebinar right here. I've just gone to that video and I'm grabbing the YouTube URL from up on the top. So I'm going to click copy. I'm going to go back to that post, and again, if I just click like this and I hit enter, it's not going to do anything because really it can't tell the difference that I've just embedded a post. But if I click here and I paste, it's going to automatically embed that video, which for folks that have been working in WordPress a long time is darn near magical. It's just fantastic that you don't have to go in and you can preview, you can actually demo this video right inside of here and see what that video is going to do for you. You can go back into the text and you can edit some of those items on this. Actually, it's just grabbing it in here. So if you wanted to edit specific items, you would have to go into the embed code from the YouTube video, and that's still down in the share button down at the bottom here. So if I'm clicking on the actual video itself, oops, and I click share, then there's an embed button down here, and I can grab this and you can just select different window sizes if you wanted to, and it changes those numbers up. If you want to do this that way, the way to do that still is to go in the text editor. So actually let me click here, copy this, and then go back to the post and paste it in the text side, right? So if I go in here now, it's still going to show up as blank. But if I'm doing that automatic embed where I'm just going to the YouTube video, you can actually preview that again. So I'm going to go back in here, delete this, paste that URL, and again, it's automatically included that. Now I can change it inside of here if I wanted to look at the different parameters, but there's not a whole lot you can do on the embed. You're just taking what it's giving you at this point. And then I can update the details on here. Now if I wanted to do that with a tweet as well, I'm just going to go into Twitter. So WordPress 4.0 Benny launched. If I go back to my tweets, if I just go back to me and see what our tweets are. So WordPress 4.0 Benny launched. If I click on more here, I can go to embed tweet, but all I really need to do is click on this actual tweet, and it's going to take me into the main URL of that tweet, and that's what I grab in order to embed a specific tweet. So I'm going to click copy on this tweet URL. So again, all I did was I went into my timeline and I clicked on the individual tweet to get to its own tweet page, and now I click enter again, so I'm on my own line, and I paste, and that tweet comes in, it grabs my image, it grabs the timeline, it grabs the link, and it lets you follow right inside of there. Notice that these are the same size and width, which makes it very nice for keeping everything consistent. There's not a ton that you can do to edit that beyond this, but if you have something that you just want to post on its own line, it's almost magical how easy this now is. So it's fantastic and easy to use, and again, as you note, there's the scroll bar that stays up at the top instead of having to go up and down as I'm scrolling up and down on the window. So other fun stuff includes the plugin browser, and so if you're at plugins and if you're updating your plugins, again, if you're hosted through BizzyWeb, there's no need to do this. You can just give us a call and tell us that you're looking for a new plugin on your website or that you need some additional functionality, and included with your 3 hours or 6 hours of support, depending on the package that you've chosen with us, we'll do that installation and configuration of the plugin for you. This really does make it easy for those folks who are on their own or who choose to do this by themselves to browse plugins, make sure that you're getting the plugins that you like, and to check out the reviews and the compatibility without having to go out to WordPress.org itself to review. So let me browse that again for you. If I go into the plugin window, again, that's just on plugins. And if I go into plugins, you can see where you are. But then if I go to add new for a plugin, now I can browse these and I can see how many ratings I've got, and you can search for plugins. You can search by popular or by favorites. And so popular plugins, Contact Form 7, WordPress SEO by Yoast. Do like this one a lot. There's 12 million downloads of WordPress SEO by Yoast, 3,400 reviews, and with an average of 4.5 stars, so not bad. You can see details right inside of here. It pops it open in a new window, so you don't have to go outside of your website, of your dashboard, in order to get everything that you need. You can install this plugin right from inside of here. Of course, I'm not going to do that because I've already got other plugins that I'm using for all of this. So you can browse, check out, and see your plugins without having to leave the window inside of WordPress 4.0. So we already kind of did a demo of the big features. I talked a little bit about the ability to manage themes. So inside of the theme framework, you can go in and preview a theme, and you can see what the edits to that preview would do. So if I just wanted to say BizzyWeb on top of here, if I deleted this, that's what it would do to this theme. As you can see, this looks quite a bit different from the way the existing website works. So of course I'm not going to activate this, but I can mess around with colors, and I can change the header text color and make that different. Go into layouts, change it so that the content's on the right, change a header image, add an image if I wanted to. And I can make all of those changes. So if I wanted this image to be the featured image instead, or if I wanted to add my own, you can do this very, very quickly and easily. And then once you're happy, you can hit save and activate. So as a word of caution, you're going to activate a new theme on top of your website. And so of course I don't want to make those changes on this website, but I can browse through the different plugins on BizzyWeb's web, or the different themes on BizzyWeb's website, and I can edit those as we go through. Inside of the widget editor, in the menu editor, you can change those things up from inside of here. That's the same thing you can do by just going into appearance. But again, no real need to do that today for us, but don't really need to go anywhere further for that. So as we bring it in here then, let's talk about installing WordPress. So if you've decided, yes, this is something that I absolutely want to do and I need to do it right now, you're going to want to first back up your website. There's some tools that we have available or that we encourage folks to use. One that we use that's a premium plugin that we have a developer's license for. If you're not hosted with BizzyWeb, you don't have access to this without purchasing it, but it's well worth a purchase if you don't host with us. It's called Backup Buddy, and I'll demo that in just a moment. Once you've backed up your website, you're going to then click the updater, update your plugins, and then basically take the tour. And I'm going to walk you through that process right now on a test site. Note that this is a test site, and so there are no big urgent issues right here with this particular site. Right now I'm running WordPress 3.9.2 on this particular test site. So I'm going to first go into Backup Buddy and back up my site, and I'm just going to do a full complete backup. Click the button, and it's going to go ahead and create that backup. So goes through, updates everything, bingo bango boom. As soon as it tells me that we're good to go, I will move on and actually update the site. So this is zipping up some files. It might take a couple of moments on this, so I'm going to chat just a little bit more about some other safety options and issues. First, oh, there it goes. I am actually backed up. You may even want to download this backup file or send it to an offsite location. But again, if you're hosted with BizzyWeb already, two things that you need to know. One, we are going to be handling this process for you, so you don't need to update WordPress to 4.0. Two, the reason we haven't already updated to WordPress 4.0 is that we need to test for compatibility against your particular theme installation and the plugins that you have on your website. And what we do with that is the process that I'm walking through right now. So first, I have backed up my website. Next, I am going to update my plugins. And I'm not actually going to update my plugins on this site because it would take a long time, and you're not here to watch me update plugins. You're here to watch me update WordPress. But then finally, once I know that everything is up to date, then I'm going to go to the nag that says WordPress 4.0 is available, please update now. And I'm going to click on please update now. From this update window, I can also update any other plugins that I have available to update. You can update any themes. If your theme is set or it shows that it has an update available, again, you can go ahead and do that, but please make sure that you've backed up your website before you do that. There are database backup plugins that will just back up your database. That's not nearly good enough if you're actually going to be messing with the site structure of your website, because the database just tells your website what text is included on the site, but that does not include any of the theme files or files themselves. So if you have any plugins or if you have any themes that have been installed or if you have custom configurations, none of that is really saved on a database backup. And so you need to have a full site backup if you want to have the ability to go back to something else. I've had clients that have updated their website or made changes to their website inadvertently. For example, one of the easiest gotchas is to delete a user and not pay attention to what happens when you do delete that user. WordPress will ask you when you delete a user what you want to do with all of that content. You always want to attribute that content to someone else. We had an example with a client where they deleted a user and figured they didn't need any of the posts that that user made, and they accidentally deleted their entire website because that client's or that user's account was the account that was used when they created the website. So they essentially deleted every page, every post, every image that was ever uploaded to their site in the 4 years that they had it. Obviously, there was a big panic, but luckily, we had a backup of that website, and so it was back to normal within about a half hour. They called us in a panic. We went back to the backup. Everything was good. I think they lost about a half day's worth of work, but again, not nearly as big of a deal as it could have been if they wouldn't have had a backup at all. So once you've gone to the website and you're ready to update, you look at this and it says an updated version of WordPress is available. I'm going to click Update Now, and it's going to do it automatically. There's nothing all that magical here. All it really does is it goes in, it downloads that update, it prepares it, copies the files, upgrades the database, the WordPress gets updated automatically, and then I log back into the site, and now it's going to give me a fun little tour of what's happening with WordPress or what's new in WordPress. So it says, thank you for updating WordPress 4.0. There's a neat little 2.5-minute video on here. I'm not going to bore you with it. Tells you how to manage your media, working with embeds, focusing on your content, and there's neat little animations for most of this stuff, how to find the right plugin. And then there are little things that I didn't mention, like the ability for multi-language support now. So if you're one of our clients, and we do have clients all over the world, but for example, for our French clients, you can actually change the language of WordPress to French, which is amazing, and you wouldn't think that it's a big deal, but it's not been available until now. So now WordPress can be edited and used in a number of different languages. So it'll bring you through this, but then when you go back to the dashboard, you can now just see that WordPress is now up to date. And so once I get into my post manager, if I wanted to add a new post, again, that posts capability is in here. You'll see that it's a little bit streamlined. You can tell that it's a little bit clearer than it was before. But again, if I were to post a large amount of copy in here, oops, so I posted the tweet inside of here, and that tweet just automatically worked. If I had a bunch of lorem ipsum in here, the site window would automatically resize, and again, this header stays up at the top. And the image editor or the media editor, if I go to add media, no files in this one. So again, if I link over and if I drag a file in, automatically adds that up. Error occurred in the upload. Please try again later. Well, there's a detail in here. Oh, I think I need to change the, oh, I got it. So this one I need to just delete permanently, and something got a little goofy when I dragged that one over. It caught it this time. It looks like I might have to go in and actually update those plugins. That's why you normally want to update plugins before you update a theme or update WordPress. But that's how you would go through that. Of course, if you run into any issues, you can always connect with us to find out what's happening. That's pretty much all you need to know and do. Once you've gone through your website, you want to visit your website and test that everything's working the way you expect it to. And again, we just did note that there's a little thumbnail import issue, so I'm going to have to update the other plugins on this site. This is just a test website that we use to manage designs and themes, so not an issue really for us at this exact moment. But when I'm looking through this and as I'm updating these, you'll want to make sure that you're being careful and that you're going off of those backups. So that's the big deal. Now, this is your chance to chat with us. If you're in that video or if you're on our Google page, you'll note that from the main site, you can ask questions. It says, be part of the conversation. Click here to join the audience for this Hangout on air. If I click this, there's a Q&A tool on here. I'm not signed in right now, evidently, so I need to sign in. Once you've signed in, you can ask questions and just click Ask New Questions. Now's your time to ask about what's new in WordPress 4.0. And then in a couple of minutes, we're going to close down the broadcast, and then we're going to go back over to general Q&A for you. So if you would like to join us on the Hangout and ask questions not related to WordPress 4.0 on this embedded video or on this post from the homepage of BizzyWeb, if you scroll down to the bottom, click on the link for WordPress 4.0, Benny, and then if you scroll down here, it says join us on our Google Hangout. This link right here is the one that you want to click on to join the live Hangout and ask other questions. So if you have specific questions about anything, we're going to close down the broadcast in just a couple of minutes after you've had a chance to ask your questions for the folks that are live. Again, if you haven't checked in on the Hangout, would love it if you could just register to tell us that you are here. But for sure, we'd love to answer any questions that you have. As we give you that last final chance to think about your questions, I'm going to go back to the presentation here. Went through the installation demo, went through questions. In summary, BizzyWeb can help you with all of this stuff. So in particular, we've talked a lot about web design and what's available for you. BizzyWeb has a number of very handy packages, all the way down to monthly options if a fully custom web design might be, you might think that a web design might be out of your budget. For as little as $350 a month, we can get you going on a brand new website. Our packages are very affordable, especially when you go against some of the larger design firms in the Twin Cities area. And we've got websites all over the world that are proudly powered by BizzyWeb design sites or BizzyWeb designs. And so there's a great chance that we can probably help you with what you need. We talked about hosting a little bit, but in particular, everyone that is hosted by BizzyWeb right now doesn't really need to worry about WordPress 4.0. You might note when you log into your website that it says that you need to upgrade to WordPress 4.0, but BizzyWeb actually monitors and maintains all of the websites that we host. What that means is we monitor them for malware to make sure that there's no hackers or nefarious code on your website. If we detect something, we work to remove that as soon as humanly possible, and we make sure that your website stays up and running nonstop. We also do theme, plugin, and software updates on a regular basis on all of our client sites. Most of our sites are updated quarterly at some level. If there are security issues or items, we update those immediately. But again, there's a process to properly updating your website. You need to back up, and then you need to activate each plugin in turn and make sure that there's no issues, and be ready to revert to an older version if you do see an issue. BizzyWeb handles all of that professionally. This is what we do and how we do it. And so if you don't host with BizzyWeb, you should. And our packages start at just $25 a month for hosting. Online marketing is the other thing that we do and do brilliantly. Our Buzz Builders online marketing series takes care of helping you generate new leads for your business, promote your products and services, and get more business in the door, increase your search engine rankings to help you get found more easily, or just deepen relationships with existing customers and help you continue to reach out. We do that through a mix of online marketing through tools like email marketing using Constant Contact, doing Google AdWords, doing content writing and editing. We have a team of brilliant writers on our staff that are helping our clients out right now, and just being there to help you to manage and maintain your online presence. Be sure to join us every Wednesday. Tomorrow we're actually having a special event on 60 ways to grow your list, and our next event, let me go back over here, is on the 17th on Wednesday. So 60 ways to grow your list is tomorrow. We do have a couple of spots available for that. Just go to BizzyWeb.com/events to register. On next Wednesday, the 17th, you'll see an event for how does the CAN Spam Act affect email marketing. This is hosted by BizzyWeb, but we're going to have in person Erin Swanson of ES Swanson Law. She's BizzyWeb's resident attorney, and she's just brilliant and makes legal issues seem like not a big deal. So she's great at making easy to follow updates and making legal work seem approachable. So if you want to know how to keep your email marketing within the realm of the law, tune in next Wednesday for our Bizzy webinar. And again, you can register for any of these events at BizzyWeb.com/events. Clicking back over. And finally, if you would like us to take a look at your online marketing, tell you what you can do and how to do it to be as effective as humanly possible, to look at your web marketing, to look at your search engine optimization, to look at what your website is and is not doing for you, and to give you some real recommendations on how to take your marketing to the next level, fill out a Buzz report by going to BizzyWeb.com/buzz, and we'll be in touch with you immediately to find out and connect with you to see how we can help you. So we'll look at all of the things that I mentioned and give you a game plan to improve your results with online marketing. If you choose to work with us or if you choose to work with someone else, that's no matter. We'd of course prefer that you work with us because we're the best in the business, but if you don't, that's certainly cool as well. Go to BizzyWeb.com/buzz to fill out a Buzz report request form. Next week, again, we're going to be talking about the CAN Spam Act, and tomorrow we're going to go into 60 ways to grow your list. This is a presentation that I'm presenting live from the BizzyWeb headquarters about how you can grow your email marketing and contact list using a number of innovative ideas. We've had this event a couple of times. The folks that have attended have really appreciated it and said that they got a lot of great ideas out of it. Hope to talk to you then. Again, I'm Dave Meyer with BizzyWeb, reminding you that at BizzyWeb we help you generate buzz without getting stung. Have a great week, and for the folks still on the line, please join us for the open Q&A. Have a great week.